Is this Denny's best performance in the playoffs? And what are your thoughts on the boos and his response?
So first off, I thought his response was fantastic. I love that Denny Hamlin has embraced being the villain because this is a guy who I think just a few years ago, think of 2017 when he had that incident with Chase Elliott at Martinsville, he did not like not being liked by the fans. He wants to be liked. But now he doesn't care, and I think that's made him perform better. And I think it all goes back to last year when he was getting pushed around by Ross Chastain. He's like, I've had enough. And then he saw Chastain do that move at Martinsville and he gets knocked out of the place. He's like, I've had enough. I'm just going to be a villain. I don't care. He started the podcast. Like, he's just being himself now. And I think that's really what Denny Hamlin needed to do. And by the way, before he even won the race, before the race even started, driver intros, he's getting booed. They introduced him, and at Bristol, you introduce yourself, and gets up to the microphone, and he's just like, you know who I am, and he just keeps walking. Like he was just, it's amazing. Like I love it, and honestly, I like him more because he's just being his true, authentic self now. But was this his best performance in the playoffs? I mean, statistically, yeah. I mean, he won the race. But if you look back at Darlington Southern 500, he could have won that. He had the best car. He had a loose wheel. He doesn't win the race. Kansas, he's looking like he's going to win the race until the late race caution, and Tyler Reddick wins the race instead. And then Bristol, he's in contention to win, no late caution. And he finally gets to win. I think he's honestly the guy to beat. You could say the same thing for Kyle Larson as well, because Larson could have won Kansas as well, and he could have won Bristol as well. It's Larson and Denny. They're the two guys to beat, in my opinion. But I don't think you can beat Denny Hamlin's confidence right now. It is through the roof. It is so fun to watch. Love him or hate him, you got to admit it's fun to watch.
Very fun to watch, and I feel Denny Hamlin. I believe it was 2019, Alex, where he was in the championship for that big piece of tape cost him the overheating issue. I felt he looks just as good as he did that year, maybe better now this year. And I have to say, everything you said is I much 100% agree with. It seems that from that time when he spun Chase Elliott, he took a newspaper ad just to try to explain it wasn't intentional, all this. And then he just gets booed for, well, essentially, he got booed the following week. And then when Chase Elliott walled him at Phoenix, people were celebrating that. And now it just seems like Denny's just, I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to egg on the fans. And here's the thing, people are going to be talking about Denny Hamlin, about he's getting the win. He got booed. I still remember 1999 Bristol when Dale Earnhardt spun Terry Labonte on the final lap, and he was just booed out there. And hearing all the boos from Bristol, good sized crowd, great to see the crowd is coming back at Bristol. It was just like, this feels like vintage NASCAR when they were all booing Dale Earnhardt. Now they're all booing Denny Hamlin, and now we have to add a bonus of, oh, they're going to interview you in the front stretch, and what you say is heard by everybody in attendance. And he just, everybody loves a winner. More boos. And then I beat your favorite drivers. Like, oh my gosh, this is amazing stuff. Everybody is going to be talking about Denny Hamlin and what he does in this playoffs. If he gets a championship, oh man, I think a lot of people are just going to be tuning in next year. Like, I want to see who beats Denny Hamlin. I think NASCAR is just enjoying this.
For sure. And Denny Hamlin is the main character. Like, he is the guy this year. I mean, like I said, he started a podcast. He got the penalty earlier in the year for admitting that he wrecked Ross Chastain on said podcast. He got a penalty for that. I think that's crazy still. And he has that run in at Kansas with Kyle Larson. Again, Kyle Larson at Pocono. Gets booed there. That's his 50th career win. Just gets booed, booed, booed. The season is, it is Denny Hamlin's season, right? And he even posted on social media today, this is our year. The energy just feels like that, you know? And in 2010, when he had that championship, it looked like he was going to get the championship, kind of throws it away in a way. Hasn't been able to get one since. If he never does get a championship, he's the greatest NASCAR driver without a championship, without a doubt. Like, he's better than Mark Martin now. It I really hope he does get it, just from a storytelling standpoint, because you're going to remember 2023 as the year of Denny Hamlin. Like, every race you can point, oh, Denny Hamlin said this on his podcast. That was his opinion on this. I hadn't even mentioned, he's who got right hooked by Chase Elliott at Charlotte. That's why Chase Elliott got suspended. It was because he spun Denny Hamlin. It always goes back to Denny Hamlin. And man, I want him to win the championship just for the story. It would just be so perfect. It really would be.
Yeah, Alex, and as you mentioned, it's great to see him finally embracing that villainous character that people have put him into. But obviously, that's great for him because now he's performing better and he's just focused more on the racing than being liked by the fans.